Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So yeah, Solana is still in this support area, but it obviously broke earlier today out of this ascending trend line to the downside. It since has not managed to stay above the trend line. It tried to break above, fell down again, is now retesting from below again for the second time. It's a bit unclear at the moment. I mentioned to you in the previous video that at the moment I would have to be in favor of a sell-off into the wave 2 region. But obviously if we get into this wedge pattern again, then it was really just an unlikely fake out and it's becoming a very, very complex pattern. Let's talk about the options we have. So in terms of this scenario, the way I have it on the chart, I think that has become increasingly unlikely, especially in this count. So the idea that we are moving up here still in this orange wave count in a fifth wave has become so unlikely because it's really only possible as some kind of a very weird diagonal pattern, the way it is now. So I'm going to take this off the chart. There is another one that I find more likely because this has really become unreliable. So I'm going to take that off. These waves. The possibility is still that we completed this wave 5 actually here. Yeah, that's a possibility, and that we had an A wave down here. So basically that the entire move up finished here, and that we came down in an A wave. This is a B wave, and we are going to come down in an expanded flat into this support area between $12 and $17.40, between the fib levels that are relevant. Let's just check if it's still in the right location. So I did define it based on the latest high, but the way it's moving at the moment, I would nearly say if we are in the wave 2 already, then this was an overshooting B wave. So we might as well readjust this target area slightly. I might readjust it again depending on what the price does now, but then the target would be between 1170 and 1658. So for me, it's a bit like, wait and see, being patient, because this is the next interesting trade setup for me, long trade setup. And if we get there, fine. If we don't get there, I'm just going to look for the next possible entry. So that's sort of, I think, the mindset that's the best for this, because this is a low risk entry point. And this wave 2 will come, especially after such a rally. The thing is just, I don't know if it comes already now or if we'll get one more high and we come down then. If we get one more high, we will have to readjust it again a little bit to the upside. It certainly makes the chart quite unreliable, this drop below the support area. So this is one count. This, I think, will get much more likely if we drop now below that last swing low here at 22.26. That would basically make another low, or we would make a new lower high here, and another lower low, and that would most likely lead to that sell-off. So I could imagine that this is a wave 1 of C in a leading diagonal to the downside. This might be a wave 2, but if it is the case, then it should really imminently turn down, because otherwise we move too high and invalidate this pattern. So it could be in this C wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So this is one possibility, and for me, sort of a confirmation point would be if we break below this last low from the overnight low here at $22.20. The other possibility that we have, and it would need a bit of a readjustment of the count, is obviously that we get one more high. I have my doubts about it now with that drop out of that trend line. That count would, let me just think, it would imply that I make this wave 3 a bit longer, which is absolutely possible. I had a few questions anyway why it was so short, but it's technically possible. You can have a short wave 3 as long as it's not shorter than the wave 1 and the wave 5 together. So it could be something like this, maybe, that we peaked here in a third wave, just of a different wave degree. We are now still putting in a fourth wave. That's still valid also as an impulse, because here we haven't broken below the 50% fib level yet. Yeah. But then also we haven't, well, okay, we have here reacted to the 23.6 fib, which is for wave 4 a valid support area. And you could say that this was the A wave of that fourth wave. This was again a B wave, and then we've made a running flat here in a C wave. These do happen sometimes in a wave 4. Also not a very likely pattern, but a possibility how I would count it if we make now one more wave to the upside here. And then again, target remains here sort of around the 28, or let's just recalculate that target range. For that we could take the length of the third wave again, and we go down to the low of the fourth, and we get actually a little bit of a higher price target here. That would be around, I mean, very first target here still around 28.40. It's the 38.2 fib extension, and then up to 32.17. And you could say as long as we're holding this low, we are going with this count, but I have my doubts because we are obviously just stuck below this trend line there. Now, we also can draw a trend line to the downside here. Not sure if we get a nicely defined trend line. I think just about, yeah. Trend lines are always a bit subjective. So, bit of a trend line here. Also here we haven't really, so you have basically double resistance here. You've got that ascending trend line and the descending one. They're crossing here, and this is really the make or break point. I think you could even argue that this is some kind of a wedge pattern. These are rare, especially expanding ones, but it's certainly a possibility. And this C wave is then in a diagonal pattern. Yeah, then you get these sometimes. So that might be a possibility to still put another high in. I have my doubts about that scenario, especially as we are now just below resistance. But if we manage to get above it, break above this wave B high at 2660, then we have a good chance to put this high in. So yeah, a few small changes here, but both scenarios possible. But yeah, to a degree, it also depends on what Bitcoin is doing. Unfortunately, also there, we don't have the very clear situation at the moment, so it remains interesting, especially ahead of the core PCE data. Okay, and that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.